and I think he went over in North American, and then he went on and like did very well in Worlds as well. It's really cool to see and anyone really make a name for themselves in these tournaments. It's really cool to see. Obviously, Speedy, I know he had a YouTube channel before that, but like once you win a championship, it really allows you to grow your name.
So let's get into these first couple of battles. We got Aerosol 2505 and Senor Blancha. If I've mispronounced that, I deeply apologize, for the first set of the God tier playoffs.
That's as good as I got as well. Hopefully that's the right pronunciation. I'm sure someone will correct us in chat.
I know, chat's ruthless.
we love them though.
Yeah, we love chat. So
all right, so we have the first teams up here. Definitely some very interesting teams. Personally, I mean, if for anyone who knows me, knows that I love me some Spooter. So seeing that on Aerosol's team is always a pleasure to see.
We got some very
interesting.
Yeah,
teams.
We got some very strong cores too, of like the two similarities of the Stunkfist and the Azu combined together, and then both of them have a flyer, and I even see Senor has a double flyer. So I wonder if he's going to make use of that with how much. I think it only really does good against probably the Shiftry, so I wonder if we'll maybe see like an ABB team style from Senor.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see how that Spooter's utilized. Taking a look at the matchups, I really only G-Fist card counters it. Whether or not that Tropace has Air Slash or Raise Leaf makes that matchup a little bit different as well. And I'll be interested to see if that Shiftry has any play. Shiftry being something that we don't see as often in these tournaments compared to maybe some of the other Pokemon we see here. I'd be interested to see if it's utilized as a safe switch. Maybe outside of Deoxys, I don't really see anything that really hard counters it in a safe switch position, although even then, Deoxys really doesn't like to take a foul play.
Yeah, Shiftry is also very dangerous energy too, so it can kind of pull its own weight even against like those other two flyers that Senor has. So because even a foul play for a Skarmory or a Tropius does not want to be taken, so...
Absolutely. I think with that, we're ready to go into the first battle. Let's see how this goes. We only have one view today, so we'll be showing, this one will be from Aerosol's point of view. So we start off with Alolan Marowak into Deoxys. Very good lead for Alolan Marowak.
Yeah, but now it's going to be the DD's moveset, because it can hold its own against Rock Slide. I think that was definitely enough for Rock Slide. So yeah, here we go.
And it is Rock Slide. Very interesting. Definitely really interesting to see it get revealed so early, and also a catch into G-Fisk for the Shadow Bone. See if they get the defense drop here. I didn't see what Aerosol had in the back.
He's got his own.
Interesting.
His own Stunkfisk and Spooter, so he can't bring that Spooter against that G-Fisk, and we all know that is basically its only hard counter. So, I mean, I wonder if he's gonna just try and chip away at this and then do 2-shield the spider and just see how that goes.
I think that would make a lot of sense. Basically letting it go here. I wonder if basically probably comes in now and farms down with the G-Fisk. May have to use a shield to do so, but I think that play would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely.
I lost track of counts, so I'm not sure. This may only be a Rock Slide, and it looks like he's calling that it's only a Rock Slide. So great counting on Aerosol's end.
Yeah.
That puts him in a very good spot, because Defense Deoxys can use the counters, but the charge moves do nothing to G-Fisk, but brings in an Azumarill, which means Spooter definitely has a chance to sweep here.
Yeah, definitely, especially with how the charge moves on the DD, because since we saw that there was Rock Slide, I'm assuming there is no it's a Rock Slide Thunderbolt variant, not a Rock Slide like Psycho Boost. So even the G-Fisk can have a lot of play with that huge energy advantage he got from farming down the opposing G-Fisk.
Definitely a good point. I think this is only an Ice Beam, which I really like the no shield here, because you can basically just depend on the Spooter at this point. He'd probably bring it in at this point, would be my guess.
No.
Well, staying in. Maybe he wants to get one more Earthquake off first.
Yeah, he's going to make it there, but I would just, he's going to at least...
doesn't quite make it. Yeah, I like the no shield at this point, because basically you don't want to get bubbled down. Now, basically a 2-shielded Spooter against the world. This might actually be kind of close, depending on Whether they decide to throw immediately.
How?
Now they get to an ice beam.
Yeah, another ice beam, but he's gonna get up to probably 2 lunges farming down here, so that DD is gonna get a defense drop as well, and is not gonna be at the range of a single rock slide probably after the 2 attack drops.
Yeah, I think you're right. So that will pretty much do it. The lunge will not KO at this range. I think it'll live with maybe 5-10% HP. But I think it's a really good point that rock slide likely won't KO at this point.
Yeah, and also too, he's gonna still get farm to potentially throw on the Azu, but he is still shielding anyways.
Oh, and he still has a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be more a matter of if that Azu, how much energy is there, but he's already at the discharge too, and Azu doesn't win CMP against like anything, so.
Maybe if the Umbreon comes out, but that's pretty much it. So very well played there, Aerosol. Definitely noticing the win condition of a 2-shielded Spooter once the G-Fisk was out of the way.
Yeah, and I think that was a very interesting catch too, to try and catch on the G-Fisk. I personally probably would have tried to catch on the Azu, but he was probably worried that there was a stronger counter back there, and there was with the case of the Spooter. So then it was going to just be very rough after that course of action.
Right. Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised they didn't switch out a little bit sooner, if they were going to switch out at all, knowing they had essentially an Azu G-Fisk in the back. So may have made sense, since you technically have 2 counters, Seal and Marowak to go and try to do that safe switch immediately. But definitely well played by Aerosol, and very good to get the first win.
Yep. So I guess we'll see how Senor counteracts after the first match.
I'd be curious to see, does the Spooter stay in the back? I think it's going to stay on the team the entire way, and it's going to be a matter on Scene or Balacha slide on just how to counter it. Probably with the G-Fisk and maybe something else. I would think the Tropius would probably work okay in that role, since that matchup's a little bit neutral.
Yeah.
Probably be very curious to see how this goes.
Well, also too, we don't know if it's a Razor Leaf Tropius or an Air Slash one. So.
Absolutely, it's a very good point as well. I think we're ready to go into the next one. Bringing the shifter. Oh, what a call!
Another phenomenal lead for Aerosol. So we see this Umbreon safe switch, which is...
Ooh, this is interesting. There's 2 ways the shifter could play this out. The shifter could stay in here and just make sure that they win switch and then put the Spooter on the Azu, or they could switch into Spooter right now. I think either way could potentially make sense.
I mean, personally, I think I would switch in the Stunkfist, because I'm assuming probably that there is his opposing Stunkfist, and I don't like playing that mirror. That is not a fun mirror I like playing.
That's a fair point. I no one likes playing that mirror for sure. Okay, so the Spooter comes in now. I'd be curious to see if they're going to shield at all. You might as well shield the first foul play. I'd be curious to see if they decide to use a shield. No shield. This does a good chunk. It basically brings it to half.
Yeah.
That Umbreon's now 2 more snarls from another foul play, and so basically it will outpace the Galvantula to the next one. But it should live. The Spooter should actually be really close whether or not Spooter lives this.
I mean, I think it's going to maybe depend on IVs, but it looks like Aerosol trusts in his IVs and does live this foul play.
And now, oh wow. Umbreon a lot more energy than I thought. Letting it go.
Yeah. I think he comes in, probably farms with Stunkfist. Yeah.
It's a very good play for sure. Can he get the farm down? Oh, I think that Umbreon might have just fainted with the move. So very good farm down.
I'm assuming that Azu probably comes back in, but Azu is going to take an Earthquake to the face. I wonder if it's going to get shielded, or if he's going to put everything on, put a potential Stunkfist in the back, or whatever his third one is, because we do not know it yet.
Certainly a possibility. We also have not seen the second move from that Azumarill yet, and they did go straight Ice Beam in the last matchup. So yeah, I think that's exactly... Well, they only built up to 5, if I recall correctly here, so I don't think it could be a Hydro Pump. But it's good knowledge on Aerosol's side. It looks like this Azumarill is likely Ice Beam play rough.
Yeah, because you definitely do not want to be play roughing Stunkfist, and we haven't seen a Mirror Azu match where we all sit back and drink some coffee as they continue play roughing one another.
Yeah, go ahead and finish our DBL sets for the day, and then maybe the Azumarill matchup will be over by then. Oh, okay, very good switch there, and it is the Stunfisk in the back. So I don't know how much, because the Shiftry has a lot of energy here, but it's also at half health. So I think it's in Rock Slide range.
It is probably in Rock Slide range, but we do also have to remember that Snarl is a beast and can get the charge moves very, very, very quickly. So hopefully this Stunfisk goes down for Aerosol, or he could be in a little bit of an issue.
Mm-hmm. Having 2 shields for the Shiftry is also very key here. Doesn't really take much from either the mud shots or the bubbles. So that could be definitely the key to winning this matchup.
Yeah, and it looks like Aerosol is building up a little bit of extra energy trying for that Azu, but I'm assuming probably Senor has a double Rock Slide ready to try and throw at this, or not.
I think it was building for double Rock Slide, but the Shiftry got it an extra Snarl, which allowed it to become a CMP tie. Yeah. So very well done.
And then
that should do it. This is definitely in Leaf Blade range, and no way that the Azu can bubble down. So very well done by Aerosol. Again, noticing basically that one Pokemon with 2 shields will do the trick, and taking another win.
I enjoy how he used that Shiftry, even though there is that double flyer on the other side. I think Shiftry is a very fun mon to kind of play with, and how they both used Snarl as for the Umbreon and the Shiftry, because it kind of, they're both very fast charge moves, and so it's like, let's see how much you can outspam the opponent. So
absolutely, but yeah. That was 2 for Aerosol, yes. So basically, we're now in a position where Aerosol is going to be going for the sweep, and Senior Balacha is kind of on the ropes here, trying to figure out what to do. So be very curious to see what they do in this last matchup. But I think the last one, Aerosol went for Shiftry and then double flyer counters, which, like you mentioned with the Flying Weakness Shiftry, makes a lot of sense. So I think that the Galvantula still comes out there. I'd be curious if they decide to bring in a lead now, maybe thinking that the Galvantula, they may think the Galvantula will be in the back. But I'll be very curious to see how Senior Balacha counters Aerosol's play here.
And Aerosol has been getting very, very good leads in the first part, very decent on the call for the lead. So that has definitely been assisting in how he decides to play out the rest of the match with double shielding and Odmon to just kind of be like, oh, I'm wiping out the rest of it. So
absolutely. Yeah, so I think we're ready to go ahead and see the third battle, see if Aerosol can get the sweep. All right. Azumarill. Oh, what a lead.
Another lead.
It's 3 straight leads.
We haven't seen the moveset though, and there is not play rough on this. So actually in the Umbreon matchup, you have to double Hydro Pump. If you Hydro Pump and Ice Beam, I think you have to expend a shield.
Good to know. It's actually something I didn't know myself.
I played a lot of Umbreon season 3. So.
Gotcha. I haven't used Azumarill myself since like season 1, so I sometimes forget how some of the Azumarill matchups work out nowadays. It's been too long.
And there was an extra Snarl in there from the Umbreon side, so that definitely does help Senor's case. And now he also does know both of the moveset on the Azu, because you would obviously be throwing play rough there. So
absolutely, it'd be good to know, because I think it seems like Senior Balacha's Azumarill has play rough, so that could be good to know in a potential future mirror match as well, if he's able to get through this next matchup.
Yeah,
makes sense for the Azumarill to basically no shit everything. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So he does realize that he has to go straight Hydro Pump here to not let the Umbreon get that last resort that is sitting on right there, but it barely lives. Oh,
wow.
I didn't know if that was an overtap or maybe I misjudged the energy there, but we see a stunk.
I think you were right. I think that may have been an overtap. Let's see if and they're gonna great counting on Senior Balacha's side.
I don't think there would be a shield coming out on this. Yeah,
definitely no shield. It is interesting though that the Stunfisk should have 1 extra mud shot of energy on Senior Balacha's side. It does. Yeah. So I'd be very curious to see. And this is basically just a bait game.
Yeah.
Could go one of many ways.
Oh, and
making the call. Wow. That's incredible. That's an incredible call by Aerosol.
yeah, and it looks like there was an extra mud shot snuck through on Senior's side as well. So, but another amazing call.
On Senior side. They're making all the right calls. Now, I guess we just find out if an earthquake comes through. I think a shield here makes sense, even if it is a rock slide. It is a rock slide bait. It doesn't feel good, but I think it's the right play because if an earthquake comes through, the game's just over.
Oh,
holy crap! Oh man! Oh, the triple resisted earthquake onto the Tropius. What a catch by Senior Balacha.
And okay, so we know that it is an air / Tropius, so that definitely does help on the Spooter matchup, but I think it looks like Aerosol's going to try and leave this match with an Earthquake loaded for that G-Fisk in the back.
Absolutely, which is a great call. I think that might be their only win condition. Oh, I don't think he left with an Earthquake.
I think
unless I saw that wrong.
Short?
Yeah, very interesting. So if we get to that point and with the Galvantula out here, there's certainly potential for the G-Fisk to go for a farm down. It could be Senior Balacha's win condition.
Yeah, I think it definitely will have to be. It's going to be, can I see an Air Lace going out, trying to get down that Spooter. I mean, he doesn't want to take a lunge to the face, but I think he can't afford to shield the Tropius.
I agree. I think you have to get a lot of farm here with the G-Fisk. Possibly even farm all the way down. Even though you're going to have to probably take 2 lunges to do so. Maybe you can only take 1. Maybe I think that's what you have to go for. Oh, throws their energy.
Counting. But now he does not have an Earthquake worth of energy, so it's going to be another bait game to see. And so it does look like Aerosol did leave with an Earthquake, immediately throwing that coming in.
Oh, do they make the call?
So they
shield it. Okay. Now, the Stunfisk with these Munshots is in Rockslide range, but also that timer is up. So this is going to be a very close game.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's probably going to be a timeout, or the second Rockslide's going to come through. There you go.
There it is.
We see Senor
well played by Senior Balacha. Yeah, maybe we got a reverse sweep coming here, and coming back from a very bad lead. So very well done.
Yeah, very well played. I think that Earthquake on the Tropius was definitely the biggest play there, and calling that Aerosol was not going to bait on the rock slide because that gave his Tropius enough health to do enough damage on that Spooter.
Absolutely. I think there was one rock slide that was shielded, but every other move on that G-Fisk mirror was either shielded or not shielded correctly. So really excellent plays on both sides. That was a very competitive matchup. I didn't know the entire time which way it was going to go. But very well done by Senior Balacha to avoid the sweep, and now he's back in it. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, so I think we're ready for the 4th match. See if Senor can kind of continue pulling it back out.
Okay, so Senior Balacha finally getting a lead here. This is a kind of a close matchup. Generally speaking, I like to go straight Earthquake as the Stunfisk, but this Stunfisk is going straight for a Rock Slide. Very interesting play. This Rock Slide does about half.
It does about half, and the preceding mud shots kind of make it a little bit better. It seems, though, that Aerosol is trying to go for that defense drop with throwing the Shadow Bone first.
Definitely. Probably no shield. Oh, gets a shield. Wow, okay. The Stunfisk does outpace, so at this point you can definitely go straight Rock Slide, which they're going to do here. Might get a shield here, because you might want to go for a second Shadow Bone.
No.
Besides not the shield. They have, man, they don't have the greatest backline for the Stunfisk either. That was very interesting. I was a little surprised by the no shield there.
Trying to catch on that Umbreon, but it fails to catch, and loading out with an Earthquake, almost probably like 80-90 energy on that Stunfisk.
Yeah, I think Aerosol's noticing that that's going to be the win condition, and probably is just hoping for no Azumarill in the back, would be my guess. But he's also up a shield. So being up a shield does put this still in a fairly good position for Aerosol, depending on what's in the back.
Yeah, but Umbreon takes that lunge like a champ.
It really does. It doesn't care about super effective charge moves. Just basically tickles right off of it. It should be able
But
to get off
because
one
of
more. It's gonna be
yeah,
very
well, I
close.
wonder if he's gonna try. Oh, that farm
Oh
down
no!
though.
Okay, that's huge. That's huge. Now
It
this
might be
Umbreon's gonna go to
debuffed,
work.
but it can at least just throw energy. I think it's all gonna come down to whatever's in the back.
I definitely agree. And the lead's still alive. That their own Stunfisk is still alive as well. So this aerosol Stunfisk is going to have to survive a bait game as well as beat whatever's in the back and still beat this Umbreon.
Oh, we got a
Brings
Tropius
out
in
the
the back.
Tropius. I don't know. I think this might be like I could see a G-Fisk with energy beating one of these Pokemon, and maybe like take out half the other Pokemon's health, but I don't think it's gonna be able to take out all three.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering too, and I also wonder how much energy that Umbreon has because we're unable to see it. But I mean, those foul plays will start to add up, and then it might be down into the same situation where a Rock Slide is going to be KOing. So there's no need to have a big game.
Absolutely. I like the no shield there because basically, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be the earthquakes that matter the most. The problem is it's just going to be too much damage over time. That CMP tie is also very huge.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a CMP. So having to expend one of those shields here and getting a little greedy with that energy, but he had to do some play there with the Sunkfist being his only mon.
Definitely. Bringing out the Umbreon, which is a great. I like that play. Make them use the rest of their energy. And this should pretty much be a good game. I think the Stunfisk can just go Rock Slide at this point and should be able to pull. Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, it was CMP. That's what I was assuming. He's gonna have to farm down this Umbreon though before it can get to another foul play. And like I said, I don't know how much energy that Umbreon has. But
good play.
The Stunfisk had enough energy to already take out the opposing Stunfisk. Oh, Earthquake! There you go.
Well for the BM, you love to see it.
I mean, I don't think that was in Rock Slide range, so I think it was probably the smarter and safer play to do at that point.
Oh, it's 100% the smarter play for sure. And very well done by Senior Balacha again. Now we are back to square one. It's basically a best of one. So now we get to see, can Aerosol come back after losing a couple with a chance of a sweep, or will Senior Balacha pull off this reverse sweep and move on to the gods here?
I really enjoyed the Tropius play, I'm not gonna lie. I think he is playing, Senor is playing the Tropius very well, especially with trying to maneuver it around that Stunkfist and Spooter kind of core backline that it seems like Aerosol has ran for a couple of these matches.
Also noticing that Aerosol is not bringing in that Altaria, which is the hardest counter to Tropius on Aerosol's team. So definitely gives Tropius a lot more play, and I agree. I think Senior Balacha is playing it beautifully.
So let's see.
So I'm very curious.
Yeah, let's get into match 5. I want to see if Senora can pull off this reverse sweep. Oh,
into Tropius.
The
Aerosol coming back to the leads. Outside of the Altaria, this is its hardest counter. Brings in the Umbreon. Interesting that it's going to what's likely the hard counter immediately. It's making me think it's likely a Zoomeril in the back.
Yeah, so I think I think Senor has to get alignment back here if it's true that there is an Azu in the back.
Yeah. What was Aerosol's third? I didn't see that.
Shiftry, okay. Yeah. That's why I'm saying he's got a good alignment. And
yeah, this is a very neutral matchup. I think Umbreon with energy can win this and the ones, if I remember correctly. You might even win the ones normally.
I mean, it probably might depend too also on a Rock Slide Earthquake bait game, just a little bit on the shield. But Umbreon is definitely very spammy, so I would not doubt it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know when I play out the Zero Shield with this matchup, I think G-Fisk wins with like 5 HP. But I'm very curious to see how it plays out, knowing that switch is so important. This Earthquake, I don't think it KOs, but it'll get it very low if it comes through. I think the Umbreon will likely shield. No shield.
No shield.
Wow.
So I mean, he's there. That's why I was saying I think it might be a bait in the one shields. But I think even if they decide to go 1-1 here, I think that Stunkfist might be able to still farm down the Umbreon before it can get to another foul play.
Yeah.
So they have
Stunfisk in the back. I really like that play, kind of knowing you're going to lose switch anyway. You might as well try to get some energy. But you're now, well, you're back on even shields now. So this is going to be a very interesting match. The alignment is still there for aerosol, which definitely makes it look a little bit better for them. I think I don't think it's quite a 2-hit KO after the nerf. Yeah. So that's going to make this even better for Shifty.
Yeah, and Shifty is very spammy too. So I wonder if he actually has a foul play stored. Because if he does, then what he can end up doing is kind of bringing it into that Marowak to hopefully KO it in the end.
Yeah, that would be a great play. A little bit of lag there. I don't know if that was mutual or it looks like the Shifty got a snarl coming back. So maybe that was just mutual lag there. Maybe mutual visual lag. Getting off another Leaf Blade. Yeah. I like the no shields here. I think at this point, the Tropius is going to have to do a lot of work. That is a great play to basically get rid of that Shifty.
Yeah, sniping the energy down, but we do have to remember that Aerosol does have a extra shield and probably that Stunk Fist coming back out for a stack swap later.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Aerosol right now, unless that Umbreon has way more energy than we realize. Even then, you might even be able to leave this with a move as the Alola Marowak, and if that's the case, it will win CMP and it'll put it in a very good spot. I also don't remember how much energy the G-Fisk had and how much health.
I think it had about half, if I remember correctly.
Okay. That'll be something to keep in mind as well. These are very good no shields on Aerosol's side. These are the Aero Laces, the Leaf Blades won't be doing the most damage. Let's see what they come in with here. Do they bring in the Umbreon or do they bring in the G-Fisk? Brings in the G-Fisk.
I think you have to bring in the G-Fisk, especially if you have like a move there, but I think getting through that last shield is not going to happen, especially with that Tropius being farmed down the way it was.
Oh, gets to move. So if Sinor Balacha can pull off a combo play and has a move, that might win it for him. Oh no. I think that was an overtap.
Yeah, well, I think the fire spin damage was applied to the Umbreon rather than the G-Fisk there, because he was trying to do it in the middle of his move. Very well played match though. Very hard lead there. Poor Mr. Banana Bread flying dinosaur monster.
The potassium was not enough for Senior Balacha in this battle, but very well played. That was a crazy set. Really, at the end of the day, it could have gone either way. And congratulations to Aerosol for making it to God tier.
Yeah, those were some incredible plays. I still think there was very good plays on both part, and either of them could have taken this spot for God tier, but it didn't end up working out.
Absolutely, I think Senior Balacha made a great adjustment for the Spooter, which basically did very well in the first couple matchups, as well as the Shiftry in Game 2 for Aerosol. So he made very good adjustments to make this into a five gamer. At the end of the day, Aerosol just really getting the alignment in that final battle. Was very patient, and whenever Senior Balacha would try to make a switch, did very good in maintaining patience, and very well done by Aerosol getting the God tier.
And I also think it was very interesting on how they did the how he brought the Spooter in those first original 4 matches, but the final one he did not bring it at all. Like I have Senor, unfortunately, against the ropes for that Spooter.
Yeah. All right. So next, I think we're ready for the next one. We've got I don't